The situation, of course, is getting worse. There's a lot of insecurities, instability that's happening in Egypt. It's the weakest and the most vulnerable that suffer the most.
25% of all Egyptians live at or below the poverty level, earning less than $2 per day. Many of them are widows. An estimated 1.7 million Egyptian children are orphans. Nermeen Riyad is the founder of Coptic Orphans, a Washington-based group that reaches out to Egyptian widows and their children.
Once a father passes away, you have nothing. The first step, of course, the children are pulled out of school. You can't afford to send them to school. They become then the child labor, they become the child brides, they become those that are abused, and they grow to perpetuate this poverty.
The widows and orphans are treated as social outcasts. Unlike Americans, Egyptians have no unemployment or Social Security. 31-year-old Naima Wahib's husband, George, died from stomach cancer 4 years ago. She and her 2 children have struggled ever since. They live in a small one-room apartment near the city of Luxor. Saneh, a Christian volunteer, regularly visits Naima and her children. If Christian children here in Upper Egypt are to have a brighter future, they need an education. 11-year-old Antonio here could barely read late last year, but after 15 sessions with a volunteer from Coptic Orphans, he now can read Bible stories. Go ahead, Antonio.
We started out with just sending money to the children. Then we realized, wait a minute, to really help them, to get them on their feet, we need to focus on education.
A Christian tutor helped 16-year-old Kyrillos get better grades in school. Last year, the school ranked him number 2 in his freshman class. His father, a tailor, died at the age of 38. Today, his sewing machine sits idle in this bedroom. Kyrillos' mother learned skills of her own, but had no money to get started. Caring Christians provided her with the seed money to operate a small hair salon in her home.
Before, I had no social life. I was afraid to go out in public. I didn't have much self-esteem. I talk to people now. I'm a totally different person. I thank God this salon is providing food and clothing, everything we need. At the end of the day, it's the Lord who is providing for us.
15-year-old Ayman was only 3 years old when his father died from intestinal bleeding. American Christians donated money to pay his school fees so he could remain in school. They also paid for his mother Faiza's heart surgery. She now does some small sewing jobs to help provide for her family. They live in several rooms of this house, but the landlord wants them to leave. Ayman takes volunteer Sanaa on a tour of the house that Coptic Orphans is building for his family.
Their help has made a big difference. The children would not have been able to continue with school. They are now doing well in their classes. I'm so thankful and grateful to God for the help they've given us.
Ayman, Kyrillos, Antonio, and their siblings now have a brighter future because of the help of caring American and Egyptian Christians. Unfortunately, the rise of the Islamists may cause greater persecution against non-Muslims. That may lead to more widows and orphans in the days ahead. Riyad says many Christians are ready for the next wave of persecution.
Many of the Christians have told me, I'm willing to die for Christ. Literally, and they will be put in such a situation. We want to be more and more ready to prepare and to support and to make the Christians in Egypt stronger and stronger. Actually, Christ gives us an offer to work beside him. And to me, I think it's the greatest honor.
Gary Lane, CBN News, Luxor, Egypt.